Think about the last time you walked into a room and immediately made yourself smaller. You pulled back your laugh. You softened your opinion. You dressed down your ambition. You said it's fine when it wasn't. Not because you were being humble, because somewhere along the way, you learned that being too much made people uncomfortable. And an uncomfortable person is an unpredictable person. So you shrunk, quietly, consistently, until shrinking felt like personality. Here's what nobody told you. The people who needed you small, they were never your people. We spend years perfecting a version of ourselves designed for other people's comfort. We learn which opinions are safe to say out loud. We learn which ambitions are acceptable to admit. We learn which parts of our personality get rewarded and which ones get punished with silence, with eye rolls, with "you're a lot." And slowly, without even noticing it, we build a performance, a curated, edited, softened, socially approved performance of a person. And we get so good at the performance that we forget it's not us. We start to think the character we play is the character we are. But it's not. It never was. Here's what the performance costs you. It costs you the relationships that could actually hold you. Because when you show people a performance, the connection you build is with the performance, not with you. Which means you end up surrounded by people who love a version of you that doesn't exist. And that is one of the loneliest feelings a human being can experience. Being in the room, being seen, being praised, and knowing that none of it is landing on the real you. Because the real you is still hiding, waiting to be safe enough to come out. This doesn't start in adulthood. Most of us learn to dim ourselves young. Maybe you were the kid who got excited about something and the room went quiet, and you felt that quiet like a correction. Maybe you had a dream and someone laughed, not cruelly, just casually, the way adults laugh at things they stopped believing in. Maybe you were big and bold and unapologetically yourself, and the people around you, the ones who were supposed to love you most, made it clear, without ever saying the words, that you were a little too much. So you learned. You learned to read rooms before you walked into them. You learned to check other people's faces before you finished your sentence. You learned to preemptively apologize for taking up space. And you called it maturity. But it wasn't maturity. It was self-abandonment. And the difference matters. Here is what I need you to understand. The right people don't need you to dim yourself. They don't ask you to be quieter so they can feel louder. They don't need your dreams to shrink so theirs feel bigger. They don't require your confidence to disappear so their insecurity has room to breathe. The right people lean in when you turn up. They get more interested, not less, when you show them who you actually are. Your laugh doesn't make them uncomfortable. It makes the room better. Your ambition doesn't intimidate them, it inspires them. Your honesty doesn't put them on the defensive, it makes them trust you more. Your presence, your full, unfiltered, undimmed presence doesn't shrink the space, it expands it. Now, here's the part nobody wants to say. Finding those people required showing them who you are first, and that is terrifying. Because every time you've done that before, it didn't always go the way you hoped. You turned up the volume and the room went cold. You showed someone the real version and they chose the edited one. You let yourself be seen and what came back wasn't what you needed. So you learned. It's safer to perform. But what you didn't account for is the math of that decision. When you perform, you protect yourself from rejection, but you also make real connection impossible. You can't be loved for who you are if who you are is never in the room. So what does it actually look like to stop dimming yourself? It doesn't look like being louder. It doesn't look like demanding attention. It doesn't look like announcing yourself. It looks like finishing your sentence even when you feel the room shift. It looks like saying what you actually think instead of what you calculated they want to hear. It looks like walking into a space and deciding in advance that you don't need everyone in it to approve of you. It looks like letting some people be uncomfortable. Because here's the thing about people who need you small. Their discomfort when you're big is not your problem to solve. It never was. When you stop dimming yourself, one of two things happens. Some people leave, and some people, the ones who are always looking for someone real, move closer. Those are your people. Not the ones who stayed through the performance, the ones who showed up for you. And I promise you, the loneliness of being unseen in a crowd is so much heavier than the discomfort of being real and letting the wrong ones walk away. The most powerful thing you can do in a world that profits from your insecurity is decide to take up exactly as much space as you were always meant to occupy. Not more, not less, exactly as much. You were never too much. You were just too real for people who were still living in performance. Go find your people. They're leaning in. They're waiting. And when you finally show up, all of you, they won't flinch. They'll feel like home.